My dear friends, I want you to do something for me right now. Just notice your thoughts. What's going through your mind this very moment? Are you judging these words, planning what's next, worrying about something that happened yesterday or might happen tomorrow? Look at me. I'm going to tell you something that changed my life, and I believe it will change yours too. You're living in a prison. I know, that sounds dramatic, but stay with me here. This prison has no bars, no walls you can see. It's made entirely of your own thoughts, and you've been locked inside for so long that you don't even realize you're trapped. Let me share something vulnerable with you. Years ago, during my early training at the monastery, I sat down one morning for meditation. My teacher had just corrected me about something, nothing major, just a small adjustment to my practice. Do you know what I did for the next 3 hours? I argued with him. In my head, I defended myself. I explained why he was wrong. I rehearsed what I should have said. 3 hours, my friends, and he wasn't even there. That's when it hit me. I wasn't present at all. I was completely consumed by thoughts. And here's what really broke my heart. This wasn't occasional. This was my default setting. Listen carefully now. Negative thinking isn't something that happens to you sometimes. For most of us, it's become our operating system. It's like a radio stuck on one station, playing the same fearful songs over and over. The Buddhists have a word for this, papanka, mental proliferation. Watch how it works. One small thought appears. I shouldn't have said that, and within seconds, your mind has written an entire story. Now you're a terrible person. Everyone thinks you're stupid. You'll probably get fired. You'll end up alone. You see what I'm saying? One thought becomes 10, becomes 100. Research tells us we have something like 60,000 thoughts per day. Guess how many are repetitive? 95%. And guess how many are negative? 80%. Be honest with yourself right now. When's the last hour you went without criticizing yourself or rehearsing something you're worried about? Really think about it. But here's why I asked you to be here with me today. Here's the promise I'm making you. Freedom is possible, not through positive thinking. I'm not going to tell you to slap a smile on your face and pretend everything's fine. No, no, no. Real freedom comes through understanding the nature of thinking itself. Let's take a breath together, in and out. Feel that? That breath. That awareness, that's the first key that unlocks the prison door. You are not alone in this. I promise you that. Okay, my friends, let's talk about why your mind is so good at finding problems that don't even exist. Show of hands. How many of you have ever laid awake at night worrying about something that never actually happened? Come on, be honest. Yeah, I see you, all of you, me too. So why does our mind do this? Why are we walking around looking for danger, catastrophizing, expecting the worst? Are we just broken? No, listen to me carefully. Your brain is actually doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It's just doing a job from 200,000 years ago. Here's what I mean. Imagine your ancestors way back when. Picture two of them walking through the forest. One guy hears a rustling in the bushes and thinks, oh, it's probably just the wind, probably nothing. The other guy hears the same rustling and thinks, tiger, run. Which one survived to become your great-great-great-grandfather? The worrier, the paranoid one, the one who saw threats everywhere, the optimist. He got eaten. So you inherited a brain that's designed to keep you alive, not to keep you happy. Your mind is scanning constantly for threats, for problems, for what could go wrong. In Buddhism, we talk about bhavatanha, the craving for existence, for survival. It manifests as this hypervigilance, this constant checking. Am I safe? Am I okay? What's the threat? Let me tell you what happened to me just last week. A student made a comment after one of my talks, just a simple comment, probably meant nothing. But my mind went on a journey. He thinks I'm a fraud. He's going to tell everyone. I've lost my touch. I shouldn't be teaching. On and on and on. Then I caught myself. I actually laughed. There it was, my ancient survival system, treating a casual comment like a saber-toothed tiger. Do you see what I'm saying? There's a difference between useful caution and destructive rumination. If there's an actual tiger, yes, run. But most of what we worry about, it's rustling in the bushes. It's our imagination. Now, here's what I'm not saying. I'm not saying you should just think positive or look on the bright side. That doesn't work because you're fighting against your biology. Your negativity bias is hardwired. It's in your DNA. But, and this is crucial, we can work with our biology, not against it. How? By recognizing what's happening, by understanding that when your mind spins into worry, into criticism, into fear, that's not truth, that's not wisdom. That's your ancient alarm system doing what it was designed to do. Right now, notice your thoughts just for a second. Are you planning something, defending against something, attacking something? That's your ancient survival system at work. Now, just notice it. Don't fight it. Don't fix it. Just see it. That noticing, that little gap between you and your thoughts, my friends, that's your freedom. Right there. My dear friends, let me tell you something that's going to simplify your entire understanding of negative thinking. All of it. Every worried thought, every criticism, every fear comes from just 3 places. 3. That's it. The Buddha taught about what we call the 3 poisons, and I'm going to explain them in a way that makes sense for your life right now. The first poison is wanting what we don't have. We call it greed, but it's bigger than that. It's this constant feeling that something's missing. If only I had that job, that relationship, that body, that house, then I'd be happy. You know this voice, don't you? It shows up as envy when you're scrolling through social media. It shows up as dissatisfaction when you look at your life. It whispers, not enough, you're not enough. The second poison is resisting what is. We call it hatred, but it includes all forms of aversion. It's the why me thinking. It's the replaying of arguments in your head, the resentment toward people who wronged you, the anger at circumstances you can't control. This poison says, this shouldn't be happening. This is wrong. This is unfair. The third poison is delusion, misunderstanding reality. This one's tricky. It shows up as worry about the future, regret about the past, and completely misperceiving what's happening in the present. You imagine worst-case scenarios. You replay old failures. You tell yourself stories that aren't true. Think of 3 streams feeding into one polluted river. That river is your negative thinking, and these 3 poisons are its source. Let me get personal with you. Years ago, someone hurt me deeply, betrayed my trust, and I carried hatred toward this person for, I'm embarrassed to say, for years. Every single day, my mind would return to what they did. I'd rehearse conversations. I'd imagine revenge. I'd justify my anger. That hatred poisoned everything. It poisoned my peace, my meditation, my sleep, my relationships with other people. It was like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. I'm not telling you this because I've mastered these poisons. I'm telling you because I still experience them. This very morning I caught myself in wanting, wishing my knee didn't hurt so much, wishing I was younger. There it was, the first poison. You see what I'm saying? These aren't moral failings. These aren't signs that you're broken or bad at this. These are universal human patterns. Every person you've ever met experiences these. Every teacher you respect experiences these. The difference, the only difference, is recognition. So here's your homework. For the next 24 hours, when you notice negative thinking, just ask yourself, is this wanting something I don't have? Is this resisting what is? Or is this misunderstanding reality? Don't try to fix it. Don't judge yourself for it. Just name it. Ah, there's wanting. Oh, that's resistance. That's delusion talking. Understanding these patterns, my friends, that's halfway to freedom. I promise you that. Close your eyes with me for just a moment. I want you to notice a thought. Any thought that's floating through your mind right now. Got one? Good. Now, here's my question. Who's noticing that thought? Open your eyes. Look at me. This is going to change everything for you. You just witnessed a thought. But you couldn't witness that thought if you were that thought. Do you see what I'm saying? There's the thought, and then there's the part of you that's aware of the thought. That awareness, that observer, that's what I want to talk about today. I'm going to use a metaphor that helped me tremendously. Your thoughts are like clouds passing through the sky. They come, they go, they change shape, they drift away. But you, the real you, you're not the clouds, you're the sky. The clouds pass through, but the sky remains unchanged. Let me tell you about a day that changed my life. I was maybe 5 years into my practice, and I was angry, really angry. Someone had wronged me, doesn't matter what it was, and I was sitting in meditation, just stewing in it. Angry thoughts, one after another like a storm. Then something shifted. Just for a second, I noticed what was happening. I saw the angry thoughts, but I also saw that there was a part of me watching those thoughts, and that part, the watcher, the witness, that part wasn't angry at all. It was completely peaceful, just observing. I can't tell you how revolutionary that moment was for me. Listen carefully now. You are not your thoughts. Let me say that again. You are not your thoughts. The Buddhists call this sati, mindfulness, but it's not concentration. It's not focus. It's this stepping back. It's this gap between the thinker and the thoughts. Now, some of you are thinking, does this mean I become passive? Does this mean I stop thinking? No, 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 don't misunderstand me. This doesn't mean not thinking. It means not being tyrannized by thinking. Here's a practice you can use right now. When a negative thought arises, and it will probably in the next 5 minutes, just mentally whisper to yourself, thinking, thinking, or worrying, worrying. That's it. Just label it. This simple act creates the crucial gap. Instead of, I'm a failure, you notice, I'm having the thought that I'm a failure. Do you feel the difference? One is identity, the other is observation. I had a student come to me drowning in depression. Every thought was, I'm worthless, I'm broken, nobody loves me. I taught her this practice. Just notice, that's a thought. Within weeks, she told me, I still have those thoughts, but they don't have me anymore. That's what we're after, my friends. Now I want to be clear. This isn't about suppressing emotions or bypassing pain. This is about relating differently to what's happening in your mind. Try this with me right now. For the next 5 minutes, just count your thoughts like you're counting sheep. Don't engage with them. Don't follow them. Just count. 1, 2, 3. This witness, this observer, it's been there your whole life. We're just helping you find it again. And once you do, Everything changes. I promise you that. Let me ask you something. Think of the worst thought you had yesterday, the one that felt so real, so heavy, so true. Where is it now? It's gone, isn't it? Just gone. Stay with me here, because this is one of the most powerful teachings I can give you. Everything changes, everything passes. The Buddha taught anicca, impermanence. And listen to me carefully, this applies to your thoughts too. Every single one of them arises and passes away constantly without you doing anything. You don't have to fight them, you don't have to fix them, you just have to stop feeding them. I want you to imagine standing in a river trying to push the water away. How exhausting would that be? How futile? That's what we do with negative thoughts. We fight them, we resist them, we try to stop the flow. But what if you just stepped onto the river bank? What if you just watched the water flow past? The thoughts will come, they'll flow right past you, and they'll go. That's their nature. Let me tell you about a moment I had. I was on a plane. I don't like flying, never have, and we hit terrible turbulence. My mind went into full panic mode. We're going to crash. This is it. I'm going to die. My heart was racing. My palms were sweating. The whole thing. Then, in the middle of that terror, I remembered, this too shall pass. This feeling, this thought, this fear, it's temporary, it's already changing. And you know what? Within minutes, the turbulence stopped. The panic faded, the thoughts dissolved. Here's what I want you to understand. Thoughts are just electrical patterns in your brain. That's all they are, and electrical patterns cannot sustain themselves without energy. Without your attention, they literally cannot continue. Your negative thought is like a fire. It needs fuel. When you engage with it, when you argue with it, analyze it, believe it, fight it, you're throwing wood on that fire. But when you just notice it and let it be, when you stop adding fuel, it goes out by itself. I'm not saying this is easy. I know it's not. Because we really believe, that if we stop thinking about our problems, they'll get worse. If I don't worry about this, something bad will happen. Right? You know that voice. But here's what really happens when you stop feeding the thoughts. You gain clarity. Solutions come. The mind stops spinning and starts seeing. I had a student with severe anxiety, panic attacks multiple times a day. I taught her this one practice. When the anxious thoughts come, just whisper, passing, passing, passing. Don't fight them, just acknowledge they're temporary. Within a month, her whole life changed. The thoughts still came, they always will, but they didn't stick anymore. They pass through like clouds. Let's do something together right now. Take a breath with me. Notice whatever thought is in your mind. Now don't engage with it. Just watch. Give it 10 seconds. Just watch it. Did you feel that? It shifted, didn't it? Maybe it faded. Maybe a new thought came. That's impermanence, my friends, I promise you, and I've watched this happen thousands of times. If you let them be, thoughts will pass. They always do, always. This too shall pass. Remember that. Trust that. All right, my friends, enough theory. Let me give you the actual practice. 4 steps. I want you to memorize these. I want you to write them down. I want you to tattoo them on your brain. Are you ready? Here we go. First step, stop. When you notice negative thinking starting, and you will notice because you've been practicing awareness, just pause. Literally stop what you're doing. Take 1 breath, just 1 conscious breath. This interrupts the automatic spiral. It's like putting your foot on the brake before the car crashes. Second step, label. Name what's happening. Out loud if you can, in your mind if you must. This is worry. This is self-criticism. This is anger. This is fear. Why does this work? Because labeling activates your prefrontal cortex, the wise, rational part of your brain, and it calms down your amygdala, the alarm system. You're literally changing your brain chemistry with one word. Third step, feel. This is crucial. Locate the sensation in your body. Where do you feel this thought? Your chest, your throat, your stomach, your shoulders. Don't think about the feeling. Feel it. This moves you out of your head and into direct experience. And here's the secret. Sensations in your body can't sustain themselves as long as thoughts in your mind. They peak and they pass. Fourth step, choose. Ask yourself one simple question. Is this thought useful right now? Not true or false, useful. If it's useful, if there's an action you need to take, then take it. If it's not useful, let it go like a leaf floating down a stream. Let me show you how this works in real life. You're driving, someone cuts you off. Immediately the anger thought appears. What an idiot, how dare they? Stop, take a breath, label. This is anger, feel. Where is it? Probably chest tightness, heat in your face. Choose. Is this useful? No. Let it go. The whole thing takes 15 seconds. I used this practice just yesterday. I had a disagreement with another monk. My mind wanted to rehearse it all day. What I should have said, why I was right, how he was wrong. Then I caught myself, stop. Label, this is resentment. Feel, tight jaw, tense shoulders. Choose, not useful, let it go. Now, listen to me. You're going to forget these steps 100 times a day. That's okay. That's part of the practice. The 101st time you remember, that's victory. That's transformation. Each time you successfully use these 4 steps, you're rewiring your brain. You're literally creating new neural pathways. This is how change happens. Not through one big enlightenment moment, but through choosing differently 1,000 tiny times. Your homework, practice these 4 steps 3 times today. Start small, a minor annoyance, a small worry. Write down what happened. These steps are simple, not easy, simple. There's a difference. You can do simple. Trust me on this. I've been doing this for 30 years and these 4 steps still save me every single day. My dear friends, let me ask you something, and I want you to really sit with this question. Would you talk to someone you love the way you talk to yourself? Be honest. When you make a mistake, when you fail at something, when you're struggling, what does that voice in your head say? You're so stupid. You always mess up. You're never going to get this right. What's wrong with you? Would you ever say those things to your best friend, to your child, to someone you care about? No, of course not. So why do you say them to yourself? Listen to me carefully. The harshest negative thinking most of us experience is self-directed. We are our own worst enemies. The Buddhists talk about metta, loving kindness, and I'm not talking about being soft or weak. I'm talking about radical compassion as a practice, as a path to freedom. Let me share something painful with me. When I was young in my training, I was vicious to myself. Every mistake, every failure in meditation, every time my mind wandered, I would attack myself. You're terrible at this. You'll never be a good monk. You're wasting everyone's time. One day my teacher heard me muttering these criticisms during practice. He pulled me aside and said, "Would you beat a student who was learning to walk?" I said, "No, of course not." He looked at me with such kindness and said, "Then why do you beat yourself for learning something far more difficult? That voice in your head that says you're not good enough, that's not wisdom, that's not motivation, that's not truth, that's just cruelty." and cruelty never ever leads to growth. Now, some of you are thinking, I can feel it, but if I'm compassionate to myself, I'll become lazy. I'll stop trying. I need to be hard on myself to stay motivated. Here's what I want you to practice. When you notice negative self-talk, when that inner critic starts up, try saying these phrases. This is hard right now. I'm doing my best. May I be kind to myself in this moment. Just try it. Place one hand on your heart. Yes, really, do it right now and say, I see you, I'm here with you. You're trying so hard. Does that feel strange? Good. That means you need it. I had a student who came to me drowning in depression. She hated herself. Every thought was an attack. I taught her this practice of self-compassion, and she resisted it for weeks. I don't deserve compassion, she said. I told her, you're a human being who's suffering. That's the only requirement. She practiced every day, speaking to herself the way she'd speak to a good friend. 6 months later, she told me, I never knew I could be on my own side. You carry so much, my friends. You're trying so hard. Can you just acknowledge that? Can you place your hand on your heart right now and say, I see you? That simple gesture, that's where healing begins. I promise you that. My dear friends, look at me. We've walked this path together, and I want you to see how far you've come. You recognize the prison of negative thinking. You understood your brain's ancient survival system. You learned about the 3 poisons. You found the witness inside you. You trusted in impermanence. You practiced the 4 steps. You embraced compassion for yourself. But here's what I really need you to hear. This isn't the end. This is the beginning. Negative thinking will return. I'm not going to lie to you about that. It's guaranteed. Tomorrow, maybe in the next hour, those familiar thoughts will come back. You're not good enough. Something bad is going to happen. This won't work. The difference, the only difference, is now you have tools. You have understanding. You have practice. Let me tell you something vulnerable. I've been doing this work for over 30 years. 30 years. And just this morning I woke up with anxious thoughts about a talk I'm giving next week. There it was, my mind spinning stories, catastrophizing, creating problems that don't exist. There's a concept we have, shibumi, effortless perfection that comes through practice. Eventually these tools I've given you become natural, like breathing, like walking. You don't have to think about them. They just happen. Here's what I want you to do. Share these teachings with someone who's struggling. Maybe it's a friend, maybe a family member, maybe a stranger on the internet who needs to hear this. When you teach, you learn twice. When you help someone else find freedom, you deepen your own. And on the days when you forget everything I've told you, and you will forget, on the days when negative thinking takes over completely, and it will, just come back. Come back to your breath. Come back to awareness. Come back to compassion. There's no such thing as failing at this practice. There's only returning again and again and again. Let me offer you a blessing as we close. May you meet each thought with awareness. May you treat yourself with the kindness you deserve. May you remember that this moment, right here, right now, is the only moment you have to be free. Thank you for your courage in doing this work. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing freedom. You know what? Your negative thoughts have held you prisoner long enough, long enough. Today, right now, in this moment, you begin walking out of that prison. The door was never locked, my friends. You just didn't know you could leave. Now you know, so go in peace, go in freedom, go in love. The rest of your beautiful life starts right now.